There's the mic. Okay, this is William Gofort Armstrong. He was the son of General John Armstrong, who was the commander of Fort Stuben, where Jeffersonville is now. And then he came to Clark County to live, and he built a house up near Bull Creek on the Ohio River. He was from Ohio, and so I believe he was born in Jeff. And this is his son, William Gofort. He was a founder of the railroads in Clark County. He secured the railroad charter with extra benefits in it that other towns didn't have in Indiana at the time, and he was the first president of the railroad. And his stone's not very ostentatious, it's just kind of a nice stone. So that's what he looked like. I wish I had pictures for everybody. Yes, ma'am?
How come their stones look so new? Has somebody paid to put new ones up?
They're granite. Please, please, please do not buy marble tombstones. They do not last. And it's a tragedy because now nobody knows who's buried there. And sandstone you can't use anymore. And I'll show you some examples of why not. We passed, I think over here. Yeah, we did. We passed it. You see that stone back there with the A on it and the drape over the, whatever that is, probably a funerary urn. That just is an indicator of death. Someone has died and the funerary urn is covered with a drape and it's part of a mourning. That's the Alloway family. At one time, Merritt Alloway owned 6 Mile Island. He was born in Kentucky. Yep. And his grandsons were the Ash brothers. Does anybody remember the Ash brothers? Oh, I know you do. I remember them when I'd ride the school bus home from high school. You'd always see them out in their cornfield. They lived in a little house on Lancasine Creek, which I never did get to see while they were alive. And you see them out in the cornfield, and all they'd have on be bib overalls. And I'm told by someone with the authority to know it that those overalls could stand up by themselves when they took them off. The Ash brothers were good people. They were a little bit off. It was John and Merritt. And one of them fell off of a hay wagon when he was a kid onto his head, and he wasn't quite right after that. And they also had a sister, Katie Ash. Bill Scott told me one time years ago that his dad knew them and they'd go up there to make sure they were okay. And Bill said people stole them blind. They'd just walk in the house when they were out in the cornfield, take whatever they wanted. The house was full of antiques and Lord knows what else. And one time they lost was it a tractor in the river? Because they farmed 6 Mile Island because that was their grandfather's old traditional home. The house long since washed away. And they lost a tractor or something out there, went out and bought a brand new tractor. So they lived poor, but they had money. And if you don't believe me, go down to the courthouse and look at the settlement of their estate. When the last one passed away, they owned all the land where Meyer is today. They owned the land where Jeff High is today. They owned land all over the place. So they had lots of money, but they lived very poorly.
They were supposed to have 500 acres in Eastwood, Kentucky.
Okay.
Also.
Okay, he tells me they had 500 acres in Eastwood, Kentucky also. So they, were well-off people that didn't even, I guess, realize how well off they had it. We're coming, let's see where that is. It's